social success.
I will be posting this on my blog for sharing with the world. We want to share the real experience with you.
People have plenty of reasons to hit like. The Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau showcased the best of the city to social media influencers, and we will take you along for the fun. Now hiring.
This is something that we really wanted to do to reach out to the community.
The City of Irving is spreading the word about available jobs, and current employees share why they say it's a great place to work. Plus, the push to promote safer driving habits and the improvements coming to Lively Point Youth Center. Now on City Source. People come together at Heritage Park to talk race relations and law enforcement. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. We'll have coverage of that event a bit later, but we begin with the city's efforts to attract qualified employees. Irving has a number of open positions right now, and we went to a job fair where people learned more about them.
Today we're having a citywide job fair. What we've tried to do is have a representative, or at least one or two from each department, just to educate the public on what they do, what types of positions that they have available.
Oh, we got Central Fire Station opening soon, so we're hiring 15 firefighters right now.
We have multiple openings for police officer positions, detention officer, and working our communications division as well.
Right now we're in the middle of our summer seasonal hiring season, and so we are looking for lifeguards and cashiers, and our rec centers are also looking for summer activity leaders.
We have an animal service technician, an animal service officer, an office assistant, and also an animal service supervisor.
Right now we have a property code officer position. We had about 5 openings this time around.
Water Utilities has our pumps and motors technician, maintenance workers, utility tech. We also have an engineer position that is open right now. A lot of really good jobs.
What is the best thing about working for the City of Irving?
I think the best thing, really the benefits.
We have a great benefits package, but also we have a great hiring incentive. So within the first year, you can get up to $3,000 if you are hired.
There has always been a big emphasis on taking care of employees, making sure that our needs are met so that we can make sure our customer needs are met.
All the city employees have free access to all our recreation centers for working out or anything they want to do.
I love the fact that we promote from within.
Our signs that we have around the room here just kind of point out some of the other things. We have a really nice diversity and inclusion program.
I really enjoy the community support, but also the support we get through City Council.
We think we're seeing a positive trend as far as filling our positions. This is something that we really wanted to do to reach out to the community, and then hopefully this will be something that we can repeat.
Irving is an amazing place to work.
And it's great for the community here in Irving that we have such a dedicated workforce.
Yeah, and you can check the full list of employment opportunities at cityofirving.org/jobs. That website is updated often. And by the way, that $3,000 hiring incentive we mentioned runs through June 30th. Lively Point Youth Center is closed for renovations. A more than $750,000 project will transform the current small kitchen into a full teaching kitchen with commercial equipment and cameras for demonstrations to large groups. These drawings provide an idea of how that kitchen and cafe space will be reimagined. Also, a new professional sound studio will give teens a place to record music and podcast. And crews will add more office space. Federal Community Development Block Grant funds and voter-approved bond funds are paying for the improvements. They are expected to be complete this fall. Moving to other news now. Just a few years ago, most of us had never heard the term social media influencer. Now, through their online posts, influencers can play a big role in spreading the word about brands and destinations. So when the group Southern Travelers Explore held its annual conference here, the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau worked to maximize the impact and give attendees plenty to post about.
All right, we're off.
Armadillo races are underway.
Get down, blow that tail.
But more important than the prize,
Yeah,
Here we go.
armadillo milk.
maybe the photos.
on, stay
Just try
behind
to
me.
count the cameras. The people at this race are social media influencers, travel bloggers, and writers, all ready to share their experiences online.
Hip grandma with withacamera.com. Come and find me. So I do 2 TV shows that I host up back in Wisconsin. I go anywhere the plane, train, shipper car will go.
The evening started with a chance for them to get their own Stetson.
I mean, I lived in Texas all my life, but now I got the hat.
And along the way, learn more about the Irving brand. All of this is part of this Southern Travelers Explore conference that Irving is hosting.
In the old days, if you will, we used to bring in media for press trips, and with all the new media opportunities out there and all the new channels, this is kind of like a blogger press trip.
What is the power of an influencer?
So the power of an influencer is it's marketing that can translate to tangible numbers. So if you just have a magazine ads are super expensive. There's no guarantee people are going to see those ads. You can actually see impressions when someone is looking at an influencer's page.
Kick right, left.
They learned line dances they may share online and posed with a longhorn to load up on likes. All part of this opening party at the Texican Court.
We're very, very pleased that you're here. I want you all to enjoy what you're going to be seeing over the next few days. You're going to be surprised.
Goats love to jump up on you and
Some attendees got to try out goat yoga outside the Westin Irving Convention Center Hotel. While some work to perfect the poses, others are happy just to kid around.
Now we need to get me in the picture with the key.
More destinations on this afternoon of local excursions include the Lovelock Bridge and the can't-miss Mustangs of Las Colinas.
So we have people that are interested in arts and history doing arts and history things, people that are interested in quirky food places doing quirky food things.
During the final night of the conference, guests checked out the Toyota Music Factory.
I have a bunch of different sites. My main site is mantripping.com.
James Hills will be leaving Irving with plenty to share with his audiences.
I'm going to do a piece kind of on romantic stuff to do in Irving. I'm going to do a video of some foodie stuff.
It sounds like you're leaving with a ton of story ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really cool city and great people, too.
They have the ability, because of their followers, because of people that trust them, to say this is a trusted source, this is a trusted person, that if this person likes it, I'm going to like it, too.
A weekend full of fun, all captured on camera and spreading online that could lead more people to discover experiences in Irving. And while we covered the fun events in that story, that group also had a number of educational sessions to help them become even better at their craft. Following up on another story from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, there is still a little time to participate in the brand survey. The link is a little long, so we are leaving it on the screen. And if you're watching this program on YouTube, I'll put it in the description so you can click on it. The survey will help the Bureau determine public perception of Irving. That can then help with marketing. The survey deadline is Friday, April 7th. The USA Triathlon Multisport National Championships Festival is returning to Irving April 19th through 23rd. As we saw last year, the festival includes 12 events that involve a variety of distances of running, cycling, and swimming, as well as a team relay. Thousands of the top triathletes from across the country are expected to visit Irving to compete, with athletes ranging in age from 7 to 70 plus. Winners earn the right to represent Team USA at the World Championships. The action is centered around Levy Event Plaza and is free for spectators.
Well, there's so many people that come in. This is the second year we're hosting this. I know we have about 1,100 room nights booked. The Urban Center with Lake Carolyn and the streets being good for bicycling and running. It's just a great venue for triathlons.
It's such a positive atmosphere and people really are having a good time. There's food trucks out there. It's open to the public. So I'd say go down there and engage and have some good time. It's really good fun.
Drivers will need to watch for detours during the event, and I think it's fair to call it the biggest days of the year for sports in Irving because this multi-sport championship is happening the same weekend as the Invited Celebrity Classic at the Las Colinas Country Club. We will preview that event on the next edition of City Source. We have a lot of information to share with you in advance of the May 6th general election. The office of mayor and single-member districts 3 and 5 are up for election. In the race for mayor, Rick Stouffer is unopposed. For the council races, only registered voters living in the single-member districts may vote for the candidate in their respective district. The list of candidates is posted online at cityofirving.org/elections and published in the April edition of City Spectrum. Early voting runs April 24th through May 2nd. Election day, as I mentioned, is May 6th. Dallas County residents may vote at any Dallas County polling location. Also, the City Council ordered an election for voters to decide on changes to the city's charter. The April edition of City Spectrum contains the full text. The city's charter establishes policies and procedures by which the city governs itself in accordance with state and federal laws. And the Irving Independent School District is hosting community meetings to educate voters on the district's bond election, which is also on the May ballot. On April 3rd, a meeting will be at Farine Elementary. April 10th, Crockett Middle School is the location. And on April 20th, there will be a meeting at Christ Church Irving. All of those meetings start at 6 p.m. The district has more information at irvingisdbond.com. Important conversations on race relations and law enforcement were the focus of a special event hosted by the Irving Carrollton branch of the NAACP. Robert Sheik covered it for us.
Uncomfortable yet necessary conversations.
This is hard work, and what we have to be able to do is to stop and talk.
Conversations Irving Police Chief Derek Miller doesn't back away from, joining a panel that included police chiefs from 4 cities in Dallas County, as well as Irving PD and municipal court staff, at the Law Enforcement and You event hosted by the Irving branch of the NAACP at Heritage Park.
Building trust is about building relationships, and the way we build relationships is have conversations. I find that if I'm able to sit down and talk and explain something to a person, that they leave better understanding and I leave better educated.
The event gave attendees the opportunity to share both a meal and previous life experiences, with the goal of forging bonds between the African American community and law enforcement.
It was an open forum engagement with our both community, our audience, and those that are going to be our first responders. We want to really break down that door where there might be fear, where there might be, a sense of anxiety.
The police chiefs that showed up today want their police departments to be the best police departments in the country, and they're showing up to try to learn how to do that.
Of course, developing and strengthening those relationships takes time. The Law Enforcement and You program has been around for more than a decade now, and another event is already planned for later this year.
We want to have really dialogue and continue to have dialogue. This is not a one-time thing.
These are vital to the health of our community so that everyone can live, safely, securely, and can enjoy the quality of life that Irving offers.
Robert Sheik for City Source.
Some driving safety stats are trending in the wrong direction. That's according to the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety. Earlier, I spoke with AAA Texas spokesperson Daniel Armbruster about that and another new study. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Thomas.
Sure. Let's start with that survey on driving habits. And I mentioned trends are going in reverse. Elaborate on that for us.
Yeah, so every year AAA does a traffic safety culture index. And this is a survey across the country trying to get drivers' behaviors and trying to understand their attitudes about certain risky behaviors. And what we found in the 2022 study that just came out was that drivers and risky behavior seems to be, or at least drivers who are engaging in risky behavior seems to be on the rise, no matter what that risky behavior is, from speeding to distractions and aggression. And this really started back in the pandemic, but it's something that hasn't stopped since.
One of the more eye-opening numbers I noticed was in the category of DWI. What did those results show?
Yeah, we see a big increase in the number of Americans who say that they will have alcohol and get behind the wheel. That's scary. We were going in the right direction for so many years. In fact, back in the 1980s and early 90s, there were campaigns put in place, and we really started seeing a reverse in the trend of drunk driving. Well, since the pandemic, we've seen that actually go in the wrong direction, as you said a minute ago, with a significant number of Americans who say that they will get behind the wheel after having an alcoholic drink.
What does AAA hope to achieve by doing this survey and sharing these numbers?
Well, I think it's important because when we think about traffic safety, it's more than just laws. It's more than just police on the street enforcing those laws. It takes communities coming together and talking about these issues, lawmakers thinking about these issues. And so our hope is that when we share this information with the public, with vehicle manufacturers, and with our members, that everyone starts thinking about this is the attitude, this is the wrong direction, we need to go in a different direction, and it starts with each one of us doing the right thing.
Let's move on to another topic now, and you're just coming out with some new information on electric cars, specifically used electric cars. And buyers they face a decision because sometimes the upfront cost can be higher, but how does that balance out over time?
Yeah, so there are some risks when it comes to purchasing an electric vehicle, right? But over time, especially if it's a newer vehicle, the maintenance costs as well as the fuel costs, which is a big saver down the road, kind of evens out if you were to purchase a traditional gasoline vehicle. The MSRP on a traditional gasoline vehicle is going to be a little bit less usually than an electric vehicle, but as time goes by, you're going to spend more in fuel and you're going to spend more in maintenance. So in the end, they both kind of even out a little bit.
I want to take a moment to point out that electric vehicle charging stations are located at several Irving City facilities, City Hall, the Irving Convention Center, and the West Irving Library. So the stations are out there, but what are some of the other considerations for buying an electric vehicle?
Yeah, and it's great that the City of Irving is taking steps to do that because this is a trend that is going in a direction where we see more and more people becoming interested in electric vehicles. But are there enough charging stations across the country? There might be charging stations in your neighborhood, but if you were to go on a road trip, how many times would you need to stop? Where are those charging stations located? It's not just like finding a gas station at the next corner. You really have to do your research. Also, range anxiety continues to be something that holds people back from transitioning from a traditional gas-powered vehicle over to the electric vehicle. Even though range has increased on many vehicles, that's something that a lot of people still think about.
All right, a lot of things to consider. Daniel Armbruster from AAA Texas, thank you for sharing all of your team's new information with us.
Thanks for having me.
On a related note, the Irving City Council recently approved an electric vehicle charging needs assessment. It will provide insight to provide a charging infrastructure strategy. The city is working with the company Volta on the project. The Texas Department of Transportation is planning for the future as part of its initiative, Connecting Texas 2050. As the state sees significant population growth, the agency is updating its long-range transportation plan. You can learn more about the process and share your input through a virtual public meeting at connectingtexas2050.com. It will be available through May 31st. Irving Solid Waste Services Department is offering free mulch to residents during the month of April. This mulch is created from the brush collected curbside. It's available in bulk, so a pickup truck bed works well for transport. It's also a good idea to bring a tarp to cover the mulch for your drive home. Residents can also bring portable containers to fill up. Throughout April, the free mulch is available Tuesday through Thursday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon at the Hunter Farrell landfill. That's at 110 East Hunter Farrell Road. Proof of Irving residency is required. Bands will be taking the stage at Irving's Heritage Park for the Music on Main concert series. The free shows are every Friday night in April, and we have the lineup. April 7th, it's the Squeezebox Bandits playing a mix of Tejano and country. April 14th, country artist Mike Donnell will perform. April 21st, it's 90s cover band Pooh Live Crew. And on April 28th, rock and roll group The Vinyl Stripes finish up the series. All shows start at 7 p.m. at Heritage Park. More details are at irvingevents.org. People will get to see the inside of the new Police Athletic League headquarters during the second annual Kids Rock the Block. As you see in this video from last year, there are fun activities for families as well as reps from a number of community organizations. The block party is free and showcases what police and other agencies do to strengthen our city. Kids Rock the Block is Friday, April 28th from 5 until 7 p.m. at the Irving Police Athletic League. The address of the new headquarters is 1007 North O'Connor Road. It's time for our Pets of the Week, so let's check in with the Animal Care Campus and Michael Whiteside with the DFW Humane Society. Great to see you, Michael, and we have more big dogs to talk about today, starting with Cardi, not to be confused with Cardi B.
Correct. Yes, although the Cardi that we have does have quite a bit of energy. She is about 2 years old. She is a bull terrier mix. So she's a little short stack girl that loves to run around the yard, and she loves to play with any toy that you will give her. And she will play keep away as long as you will let her. But she's a super sweet girl, just a little bit active, so she's probably gonna do better in an environment where she has a yard where she can go out and expend some of that energy. But she's a super sweet girl.
Yeah, I bet a lot of families are looking for those dogs who just love to play. And next up we have Petey. Tell me about Petey.
Yeah, so Petey is a pointer greyhound mix, and I'm going to guess he probably has a little bit of Dalmatian in him as well. He is about 3 years old, and he can be a little standoffish when he first meets new people, but he warms up pretty quickly, and the thing that he really loves to do is like snuggle up next to you as close as he can possibly get. So he's a real sweet boy that just needs a family that can give him a lot of love and attention and some time outdoors, and he'll be perfectly happy.
And sometimes, for whatever reason, adoption may not be the best answer for a family, but you're also looking for fosters. Tell me about that program.
Yeah, so we have our transport program where we work with some rescues in the New England area, and we'll send them information about some of the dogs that we have here, mostly bigger dogs, and they'll choose which ones might work well for their clientele that might be adopting, and then we prepare them to get transported to the New England area. And so once they've gotten chosen, it's great to have a short-term foster that can take them for a few weeks, get them out of the shelter, get us some idea of how they are in a home, and then get them ready to go on transport. Not only does it help the animals get ready to go, but it also frees up space here in the shelter so we don't have to hold on to dogs that aren't going to be adopted here, but then we can save some more dogs from the city and other places if we need to.
Yeah, we've had the chance to cover that program. It's really great, and I'm so happy that you're having so much success with it. Michael Whiteside, thanks so much for talking with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas.
The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. Check out the websites you see on your screen for hours and to see more adoptable animals. Las Colinas is gearing up to mark its golden anniversary, 50 years. Next time on City Source, we'll have coverage of the kickoff event. Plus, the Irving Marathon attracts thousands of athletes. We will hear from some of the runners participating. Those stories and more next time on City Source. Remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, find us on YouTube at youtube.com/thecityofirving. We are always adding new content, so it's a good idea to subscribe. And while you're there, keep in mind that we always appreciate the likes and positive comments. And you can look for updates on events and initiatives across the major social media platforms at the City of Irving. And that's it for this edition of City Source. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.